Ever since the debut of Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo in 1992, this series has become a huge success and is now the go-to game for some friendly, or friendship-breaking, competition. Over that almost 30-year period, Nintendo has created a total of 145 original unique courses, ranging in length, difficulty, and enjoyment. However, in 145 chances, there's definitely going to be some bad ones. My name is Copycat, and welcome to the best and worst course in every Mario Kart game. Before I get this video started, I do want to remind you all that this list is subjective, so if you disagree with me, of course let me know in the comments below. Just a note, I'm only going to be talking about original courses that pertain to each game, so if there's a remade course that may be better, it's not going to count. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to stay notified when I upload new videos. The very first entry in the Mario Kart series is Super Mario Kart on the SNES. Unlike other games in this franchise, in this one you have a limited amount of lives and falling off the course is a lot easier. To start, the best course in this game is the very last one, and started the tradition of its inclusion in future titles, Rainbow Road. Now, unlike other Rainbow Roads that have some sort of guard to ensure you don't continuously fall off, this one has absolutely no guardrails at all. This greatly ups the risk factor and definitely ensures you'll have many tense moments battling your friends to become the victor. I really struggled with where to place this course in what game in this video, but I decided to choose the SNES version as that's where everything in this franchise started. In terms of the worst course in Super Mario Kart, that title has to go to Vanilla Lake 2. In this extremely frustrating course, you have to traverse around a gigantic lake with many bottlenecked areas and large barriers that really add a challenge. On top of all this, the course itself is made of ice, making your controls very slippery. Nintendo definitely learned a lesson here and improved vastly on their ice course in N64 with Sherbert Land. Probably the game that means the most to me in this video, as it's the first game I ever received as a kid, is Mario Kart 64. This one was a vast improvement from the SNES game because of the 3D graphics allowing for features to be included like bridges, walls, and elevation changes. I played this game for hours and hours on end, and honestly I had some trouble picking the best course in this one, but in the end I decided on Bowser's Castle. This course has absolutely everything to satisfy your needs. A risky track with many areas to fall off, thwomps that try to block your path at any means necessary, and Bowser statues that shoot flames in your direction. Because of the many things trying to get in your way, and your opponent's way, you never really feel like you're out of the race in this course, and that makes it even more fun. Now, picking the worst course in this game was equally as challenging, as there are a few courses I could put in this spot as they contain a glitch that makes racing players who know it very unfun, like the shortcut in Wario Stadium. However, after a lot of deliberation, I think that the title of the worst course has to go to Choco Mountain. This one is just straight up dull. Besides the few falling boulders, there's really not much else in this very simple feeling course. Now I know technically there probably are more simple levels in this game, it's just that Choco Mountain could have been much more. The first portable Mario Kart game in the series was Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance. This installment was a lot more similar to the SNES version, as most courses take place on a flat plane with no walls to give the level any depth. However, randomly there are a few 3D elements scattered throughout like enemies, obstacles, and question mark boxes. Now if I had to pick the best course in this game, then I definitely have to go with Sunset Wilds. Not only does this course have a very nice flow to it, but it also features a setting sun that gets lower and lower with every lap you complete. It's not an easy course, it's not a hard course, it's just one that's visually pleasing and it's tons of fun to play. Now in terms of the worst course in this game, that honor would have to go to Lakeside Park. Now it's not that the track design is necessarily bad, it's just that the controls on the Game Boy Advance weren't the greatest, and most players to this day complain about how slippery the handling of the karts feel. Lakeside Park features many sharp turns that even for the more experienced player in this game were hard to maneuver around, and the lava would rain down from the erupting volcano, randomly landing on the course trying to disrupt your run. Either way, there's a good reason why Mario Kart Super Circuit is considered by many as the worst game in the series, and this course definitely doesn't help. Mario Kart Double Dash was a very unique game in the series, as it featured a two-rider kart. This meant that you can now play co-op mode with a friend, with one person controlling the cart and the other controlling your items and abilities. Double Dash was also the first game that introduced a much more advanced customization, as you can now choose your 2 characters and pick between several carts, all with different attributes. Even though growing up playing the game, I loved Baby Park because of its cutthroat competitiveness, and DK Mountain because of its fun course design, I'd have to choose Yoshi's Circuit as the best in this game, as its versus mode is super balanced, and mastering every turn and secret passage takes tons of skill and practice. What's also very cool about this level is that the course is literally designed in the shape of a Yoshi, so if you think it's too hard, then blame his character model and not the course designers. Mario Circuit, on the other hand, is the worst in this game, as it's just way too plain. There's just really not much to do in this boring track, as it doesn't really change elevation or have some fun distinguishing feature to make it replayable. I considered for a long time to put Sherbetland in this spot, but at least that course has some sense of mystery to it, and shy guys who skate around trying to block your path. The second portable entry in the franchise was Mario Kart DS, which returns to the one-driver kart and sports graphics very reminiscent to Mario Kart 64. In terms of picking the best course in this one, I'd have to go with one of the best courses of all time, Waluigi Pinball. This course is absolutely insane, as you have to navigate through the inside of a pinball machine, avoiding the many obstacles in your way. This one is fun, creative, difficult, and just everything you'd ever want from the series. Now, picking the worst course in this game is a lot easier, as Yoshi Falls is really just one of the worst of all time. This course's entire layout is just one large oval with a very annoying water hazard that doesn't really add any value to it. However, I do have to applaud Nintendo on their graphical capabilities of the DS, as each course is quite stunning and full of detail, giving some character to duller levels. Mario Kart Wii is the next console game in the franchise that brought in the new feature of using the Wii Remote as a controller, and added motorcycles as a selectable vehicle. Picking the best course in this game is a lot easier, as many people agree that Koopa Cape is absolutely amazing. This course is full of really cool sections like the Mountain Pass, the river where the current actually gives you a boost, and an underwater area that Nintendo definitely copied in their later installments of the series. Koopa Cape's just a very fun course full of every element you want to see. The worst course in this game was a bit harder to pick, but in the end I decided to settle on Luigi's Circuit. Now, I do have to give Nintendo some credit, as there's no course in this game that's completely awful. It's just that Luigi's Circuit is way too simplistic and boring, offering no reason for you to want to return and play it. I was considering some other courses to put in this place, but at least they have some distinguishing feature that makes them different, where Luigi's Circuit is just really plain. Mario Kart 7 was released for the Nintendo 3DS back in 2011, and allowed the user to control the player using the system's gyroscope. The customization options in this game were also improved, adding hang gliders, frames, and tires to choose from. I played this game to death, and I can tell you that Music Park is by far my favorite. Here, you have to traverse through different musical instruments in the course that all have unique features that take some time to master. My favorite part is at the end of each lap, where there's giant bouncing notes trying to block your path, and you have to skillfully maneuver around them. If I had to choose the worst level in Mario Kart 7, then I'd have to go with Neo Bowser City, as this course could have been a lot better. Now, the weird thing about this course is that it has no tough obstacles at all on it. It just has one very annoying turn that doesn't transition properly at all, so you almost always have to slow down, especially when racing on higher CCs. I will give it some points because of its cool effects like the falling rain and neon-colored backgrounds, but in the end it just comes across as a bit of a distraction and doesn't really make the course any better. I think maybe if the course was a little bit longer, had a few more obstacles, and maybe fixed that really weird turn, then it might be a lot better. Mario Kart 8 is the latest console installment in the franchise, which was originally released on the Wii U, but was also re-released on the Nintendo Switch. This game was the first to feature anti-gravity sections on its courses, allowing players to drive on pretty much any surface they wanted to. The very best course in this massive game has to be Mount Wario. This course is absolutely amazing and relies on section parts instead of laps, which really works well here as you have to traverse down a gigantic snowy mountain. Some of the cool elements in this course include starting off inside a jumbo jet, some very sharp, icy mountain turns, a watery cave with boost jumps, a dam where you have to drive on its walls, a forest with mini trees, and finally, a ski racetrack on your way to the finish line. This course is by far the most creative I've seen in any Mario Kart game, and in the future I hope they release even more sectional tracks like this one. In comparison, the worst course in this game has to be Bone Dry Dunes. This is another one of those annoying desert levels that never feels satisfying to drive on because of how rough the sand terrain is. This track also features a few split roadways, but no matter which route you take, it never feels like it flows properly. Maybe at the end of the day,
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Now, I really struggled with whether or not to add Mario Kart Tour to this video, but I decided to include it as it's important to overview what's good about the game and what just went really wrong. Now, when this game was first released, I thought it might be a good idea because it would bring Mario Kart to an audience that may not have played the game before or might not have access to sort of like an online multiplayer version of it. But what we really got was a game that had no multiplayer at launch, and we're still sort of waiting for it. It might come out this month. And I completely hated the controls, as it was a weird combination of tilting the phone and sliding your finger, which really was just a bit unsatisfying for me. On top of all that, I really didn't like any of the pay aspects to unlock characters or any other features that I would rather have just paid a one-time price for, and it had a really weird monthly subscription and a really weird small price for randomized loot boxes, which I really just don't like in games. Now, I have heard recently that the controls have gotten a little bit better, but I'd still prefer to bring my Nintendo Switch and play Mario Kart 8 on long trips than play this really weird game on my phone. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today's video. I really hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, please leave a like. Comment below if I left your favorite level out or if there's a worse one that I didn't include in this video. And of course, subscribe to my channel while hitting that bell button. Also, if you haven't yet, please follow my Instagram at Copycat Gamer, where I upload cool clips, show you guys some of my collection, and show you guys some sneak peeks of upcoming videos. Hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!